what we've been discussing kind of since you were with us, is the idea of the perfect physique, right? And what we can do to kind of challenge this idea of the perfect physique. You yourself are a nutritionist and you're a personal trainer, so I'm sure you see a lot of people coming in wanting to have that perfect physique. But as you know, and as we discussed on the team here, with the team here, is that we know a lot of nutritionists who eat incredibly healthily, have a great diet, and are really watching what they do, and they probably have the most healthy inside, yet they don't necessarily have, 18-inch biceps and a six-pack, etc. So what can we do to challenge this idea of the perfect physical body, when really and truly the perfect physical body is probably doesn't look like what we're being told it looks like?
You're absolutely right. The perfect body doesn't look like what we see. It's as simple as you have to separate your wants from your needs. So, do I want this? Do I need this? Is this food going to make me skinny? Will this nourish me? So we have to separate those two things. That's the biggest thing we're challenged with right now. It's more like I want to do this to be like that.
Sure.
So once we separate the wants to the needs, that's where we're going to begin to see happiness. And
sister, sorry to cut you up, Asma. But you said something very interesting. You said that no, that's not the physical. That's not the physical body or the perfect physique that we're seeing is not the perfect physique. I just wanted to ask, in your opinion, obviously, is there such a thing as a perfect physique?
Well, actually, there is, because physique comes with nutrition, and nutrition is not just for the belly. Nutrition comes in three parts. Nutrition is for the belly, for the soul, and for the mind. Okay. It has to work together.
Yeah. So like mind, body, and soul kind of thing.
Absolutely. Your spirit, your soul lives in your body, which is a home. Mm-hmm. You have to strengthen that home on a whole.
And do you think nutrition has an effect on like the mind, like our mental capacity and stuff?
Nutrition has an effect on everything. And going back to the sunnah, a lot of our foods that we are following today are from the sunnah anyway. Wow. We really need to reroute the way we're thinking and go back and look at the strength behind. Look at the strength and look at the calorie counts and all the benefits to the food, and bring those into our diet. It doesn't mean you have to have a zero platter.
Jazakallah khair, sister. Sister, if you could just remain on the line for a second. We do have the caller now who wanted to put a question to you. So what I'll do is we'll get that caller on the line, and then I'll reiterate that question to you in case you don't hear it. So assalamu alaikum, caller.
Wa alaikum assalam.
How are we doing this evening?
Alhamdulillah, not bad, thank you. Doing really well.
Alhamdulillah. I believe, brother, that you had a question for the sister.
Yeah. It was just quite interesting hearing a little bit about them with regards to what they do and the work around mental health and how they kind of seek inspiration from the Quran and Sunnah. Mm-hmm. Now, I know that they target audiences mostly sisters, and they sort of reach out to them and inspire them through their own stories and so on. But I wanted to find out two things really. One, is there any access for brothers to gain this knowledge from them? May not be through a seminar or a workshop or face-to-face or anything like that.
Sure.
Online or a workbook or anything like that. And secondly, have they got sort of any workshops coming up or any seminars coming up where any of our sisters can actually, my sisters can actually attend?
Sure. Okay. No problem. Jazakallah khair for that question, brother. We'll get those questions, inshallah, to the sister. And stay tuned, inshallah, for the answer. Jazakallah khair. Assalamu alaikum. Sister Asma, are you still on the line? Can we get connected back to Sister Asma?
I'm here.
Assalamu alaikum, sister. So the brother had some questions. He kind of really loved the idea of what you are doing for the community and what you're doing specifically for the sisters. So one of the questions that he had for you is there a way that brothers can also kind of take some sort of knowledge from your work, from your nutrition advice, or from the advice that you give? Is there kind of like an online platform or something where they can also take from you?
Well, basically it's as simple as what I said earlier. If I can go back a little bit.
Sure.
Like you were discussing earlier, the Prophet ﷺ had always always a dua on his tongue. Ya Rabbi, save me from anxiety, save me from debt, and save me from laziness. This was on his tongue because it was present, which means it's always there. It's always, so he had a very sensitive side to him as well. So we have to, as long as we can tackle these problems, this comes from within. So the problems within have to be tackled first, and that's where the outer body will shine. And once we know our haqq on an Islamic point of view, wallahi, you're going to want to look handsome. You're going to want to look after yourself. You're going to want to look handsome for your wife. You're going to want to be a good son to your mother. You're going to want to be a strong person in the community. That will come. But you need to study the people of the time of the Prophet ﷺ. You've got to see what made them winners, what made them the people they are, and what gave them that hysterical mark, that mark that till today we talk about them.
Barakallahu feek, sister. Jazakallahu khair again for joining us here on Talk to Me, and inshallah we can hear back from you shortly. Brothers, how amazing is it that whenever we do Talk to Me, it always, when we get to this part of the show, the final part, the conclusion, it always comes back to follow what we've been told, follow what's in the Quran, follow what's in the Sunnah, and this is the solution to our problems. And so it's almost like no matter what question we get or what topic we get told to discuss this week or whatever's pertinent, the solution is always in the Quran and the Sunnah. How amazing is that, Ismail?
Yeah, I mean, I guess it is amazing, but it's actually not surprising because it is absolute truth. The Quran and Sunnah is absolute truth. So it makes sense that all our issues, all our problems, all our questions will, go back to that, because that is what anchors us as Muslims and as human beings, and that is the best of all creation. So it makes sense, and it's not that surprising that all of our answers root back to Islam.
Adam, what do you think about that? Does it ever amaze you that kind of Islam speaks about everything? It covers all bases, and we really can get all of our answers from it, and it's always the best answer as well.
Alhamdulillah. Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's a reference point for every high and low we have in our lives, and if we kind of seek knowledge, study it, understand it, implement it, that's how we kind of really having a better self of well-being.